And we back, guys. A game that's not getting enough love, in my opinion. We're going to talk about Virtual Basement's The Wrestling Code, okay? Let's get ready for it. Click-a-lick-a-lap. Now, reason why I said let's get ready for it, the game does not have a street date yet. Man, do they say street date anymore? The game doesn't have a release date. And it's a new game. It's going to be next gen as of right now. I don't know any talks of it being on current systems, but you're looking at PlayStation 5, the new Xbox Series, and PC for now. Obviously that can change. They could have been working on it the whole time. I don't know much information. I'm just going on multiple websites to get what I have to bring to you, and what I have is this game is going to be a live service game. I'm excited about that. I'm excited because, to recent knowledge, this is the only wrestling game I can think of that is telling you that they are a live service game and they're not hiding principles or elements that are live service games. And I'm not going to take a shot at any studios, but a live service game for wrestling is what it should be. A lot of times when you're playing a wrestling game, you're not playing, even from the N64 and Super NES, Genesis days, you never turned on the game with the idea of going through the storyline. It's not story driven. You'll have story modes that are captivating, don't get me wrong, but you're probably doing one or two things. You're either living out a fantasy of playing as your favorite superstar, right? Or you're playing as yourself and envisioning yourself taking Triple H's head and throwing it through that sheet of glass to be the 4th time WWE champion, right? Now, I don't know what the definition is, but it seems like we've been playing role-playing games every time we played a wrestling game, correct? Anytime you created a player, weren't you playing a role? So the fact that it's live service to continually adapt and grow and change is great for us to hear, because it could mean that, you know, if said character, Ken Shamrock, one of the people in the game, changes his haircut, then that haircut will be in the game on the next patch or update. So it's a live service game. The arenas in the game are going to be like arenas that probably in the popular gaming we have not seen, whether it's backyard, whether it's a high school gym. And I know 2K recently kind of did that in some of the later 2K games, but for them, they're really going to be a part of this indie scene, and that's a great thing. Their roster is, and again, I'm a casual wrestler watcher, so to me, it just seems like a lot of people in this game are indie, or they were on one of the main divisions, and for whatever the reason is, they're not there anymore. But this is just a win for the wrestling community. It's a win for gaming. It's a win for wrestling games. Let's keep going. 60 plus wrestlers at launch is what they're saying. 60 wrestlers. Now, if you've seen my AEW games, I think I kind of was like, well, they need to have a lot of wrestlers in the game. They need to have some indie. They need to have maybe people that they've signed on from the game, because like how they, allow the contracts of people to kind of free agent, but still rep the banner of elite wrestling. But this game has 60 from the jump. So it almost is like, man, if they're doing 60 from the jump next gen, why can't AEW, I don't know if I said AEW like I was asking for some root beer, but why can't they put out the exact same thing? That's very impressive when you look at this roster. I'm not going to put the roster up. There's no way I can even think off the top of my head, think of anybody really in the game. But that's not a bad thing. But the DLC part of it, right? Because it's live service game, meaning that it's supposed to go for multiple years. You're not going to need to buy it year after year. If there was an indie wrestler, right? This indie wrestler is named Mr. Showtime. Now, if you haven't heard of Mr. Showtime has been wrestling since the early 90s in WWF, WWE, ECW, WCW, NWA. I mean, he's a multiple generational wrestler And that name comes all the way back from the 40s and 50s. And it's crazy. Trained with Bret Hart and his family in the, Mr. Showtime, right? If Mr. Showtime signs on, right, he'll be a downloadable character. He gets a portion of the sales. That's got to be phenomenal. That's like, when you see your favorite wrestler come out with a t-shirt and they're like, hey, this is the t-shirt. I am the whole damn show. Come on, get this t-shirt. And you're like, man, I got to represent. I got to take care of someone who takes care of me, right? So you buy the shirt, and the shirt helps that person make money, because it's tough being a wrestler, especially coming up and you're not doing movies and stuff, right? So that is an awesome element that you can go ahead and pay for your favorite character and show them some love. Man, that's awesome. There's going to be a lot of real matches, new and old. You're going to have like Inferno matches and First Blood and Iron Man and Slobber Knockers and cage matches and regular 1v1 and tag team matches. You're going to be able to get over 8 people in the ring at once. I think they're stressing on trying to get 10 plus people in the ring. That takes it to the same level as 2K. Now, can you pull this off where it's professional and it's smooth? Because if you remember the last 2K game, 21, there was a lot of glitching that happened. And sometimes it was just safer to play with less things or people inside the ring. So that's going to be awesome. You're also going to be able to mix and match these matches together. So I give you an example. You could do a strap match, which is one of the matches that are in there, and make the strap match an Iron Man match. Okay. So that's crazy that you can get Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, 2 people who are not inside the game, to do a Iron Man strap match. All right. So get the strap. You can do that. Moving on. Now, I don't know how long this game has been in process, but from the images I've seen, and I don't know crap about making games, I just only assume it's not easy to build these models and characters or whatnot, that they've been working through this process and keeping a tight lip on what they're doing. They've also said that to go with the free service and the downloadable contents that's going to come out, they're going to give you free DLC. So some of the elements are going to be free. So what they're saying is, hey, look, off the jump, there's no story mode. There's no career mode. There's no GM mode, but we want a GM mode, okay? Which means they're listening to the community. They're listening and they're seeing what other companies are doing, what's been done in the past, and they know that we want a GM mode. They know that we want to create a story mode. We want a story mode, things of that nature. So what they're going to do is we're going to give you the game, and then we're going to give you these extra modes for free down the road. That's awesome. Again, especially if this game plays well and does what it's advertised to do. I think I've said it in other videos. It's very similar to kind of what I want or wanted from AEW, for a game to be a long service RPG style game, not RPG style, but to recognize that it is a role playing game, and to constantly be able to be tweaked over updates and patches and downloadable contents to add to the experience or make adjustments instead of buying a video game every year. Now, create it all. And what I mean by create it all, they're trying to design and set this up where you can create a player. Yes, an arena. Okay. You can customize the turnbuckles if you wanted to. So they're trying to make it with every element meshes together, but also you can create all over. One of the people that they're working on as far as the music, top notch. They're trying to give you top notch quality music. We're not talking about something that sounds like just random music that's playing while you're on hold. They're trying to give you that presentation, that AAA presentation from beginning to end. And one of their inspirations for it is SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. That was a PlayStation 2 game, if I'm correct, from 2003. Whoa. Remember 2003? So that, I mean, you can ask a lot of people, that's on their top 5 of games. Do you see what's happening? Elite Wrestling is pulling from some of the classic games, and this company is pulling from the classic games. So listen to the community and their gamers themselves, and this looks great if it comes to fruition to how it's supposed to, how we're feeling it in our heads. So Virtual Basements, the wrestling code, should be on your radar. There is no date right now. Their websites don't have really any information other than a teaser trailer, which isn't really a teaser trailer. It just kind of gives you a list of names, but there's a lot of names from all over. I'm excited about this game. You should be excited about this game. If I get more information, I don't know how I'm gonna play all these games, to be honest, but if you get more information, put it in the comments. If I get more information, I'll do another video. Till next time, kalika-lika-la.